biya samadhi, samadhi biya na uchati. That a hunter who has also one-pointedness, but his concentration or ekaggata or one-pointedness cannot be called as samadhi, because a hunter has the consciousness to kill a living being. So in that sense, Badhak Chetana, since which is associated with the one-pointedness, it cannot be called as a samadhi. Samadhi is of two types, Rup Samadhi and Arup Samadhi. If you go through the Eight Noble Path, then you will find that Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappo, Samma Vacha, Samma Kamanto, Samma Ajivo, Samma Vyamo, Samma Sati, and Samma Samadhi. Samadhi is the last of the, you can say, concentrations. There are three: Samma Vyamo, Samma Sati, and there are three: Samma Vyamo, Samma Sati, and Samma Samadhi. There are three aspects of the Eightfold Path which are related with the Samadhi. So Samadhi is of two types, Rup Samadhi and Arup Samadhi. So here there are five senses, namely Chakku, Sot, Ghana, Jiva, Kai, and there is a sixth sense which is called as Mana, that is the mind. Each sense has its own capacity to catch its respective object or alambana. Like Chakku has the capacity to catch the object of rope. So here catching or getting association with any object, this is called as concentrations. That is the, so whenever the concentration which is being achieved on the objects, whether they are roop, sad, gandh, ras, photob, and dhammayatana, this is called as roop samadhi. So roop samadhi is available on the objects related with our five or six senses. There is another kind of samadhi which is called as arup samadhi. Arup samadhi is that type of samadhi which is being achieved on the objects which do not have any form and color. That is the, they are like Akas, beyond Akinch, Nev Sanya, Na Sanya, Aitana. There are four kinds of Arup Samadhi. So Arup Samadhi is achieved on the objects which do not have any form and color. So this concentration Samadhi is available on the objects which are related with our senses. So let us discuss first of all Roop Samadhi in a very detailed manner. So here a Yogavachar or a person who is interested to purify his consciousness, he tries to control his mind or consciousness. In that way, he finds that there are five factors which are putting hindrances in the path of concentration, that is the samadhi. They are called as hindrances, nivarnas. Nivarnas are those immoral states which put obstacle in the path of concentration. Nivaranti paryondhinti na chittam samadhitam ti nivaranam. Nivaran are those immoral factors or the states which put obstacle in the path of concentration. So they are five in number: Kamachand, Vyapad, Thinimid, Udhaj Kuch, and Vichikitsa. In a very brief manner, I will discuss all the five kinds of our Nivarnas. First is called as Kamachand. Kamachand has two words, Kam and Chand. Kam means that is the desire. Kam means that is the sensual pleasure. Indriya Janita Sukhas Iksha. Iksha means that is the desire, Tanha. That is the Kama Tanha. So whenever the desire is associated with the sensual pleasure, this is called as kama chand. Second is vyapad. Vyapadoti doso, dosoti par vinas chitta. A desire to harm others is called as vyapad. Again, third is thin mid. There are two words, thin, style, mid. So sloth or torpor, in English it is called, that idleness related with the consciousness is called as thin, and idleness related with our psychic factors or mental factors, this is called as mid. Chitas akalyatati thinam, chetasikas akalyatati middham. Fourth is Kamachand, Vyapad, Thinimid, Kukuch. There are two words, Udhach and Kukuch, Odhitri and Kokirti. There are two Sanskrit words here, Odhit and that brooding of mind from one place to another place. This is called as Udhach. And what should be done and what should not be done. This is called as a kukuch. That iti tato dhavanam, whenever our mind moves from or runs from one place to another place, iti tato dhavanam ti udhacham, katanu katanam sochanamati kukucha, that what should be done and what should be not done. Whenever there is a confusion in the mind, that what should be done or what should not be done, this is called as kukuch. And lastly, it is called as avidya. Avidya here, Kamachand, Vyapad, Thinimid, Kuch or Vichikicha. Here last is the Vichikicha, means dot. Dot related with the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. That Kankha ti Sansayo. Here Vichikichati Kankha, doubt, Sansay. That whenever there is any doubt that related with the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, this is called as a Vichikicha. So there are 5 factors or immoral states which are putting obstacle in the path of concentration to those persons who are interested in the purification of each consciousness. So for removal of these 5 factors, there are 5 factors of jhan or dhyan. In Sanskrit it is called as dhyan, and in Pali it is called as jhana, jhanang. That factors of concentration. Jhapete ti jhanam. Jhan or dhyan is that which burns or extinguishes the nivarnas or the hindrances which are putting obstacle in the path of concentration. They are also 5 in number. They are vitak, vichar, piti, sukh and ekaggata. They are 5 in number. Vitak is the initial application of minds towards the object. Alambane chitas abhiniropan lakhanoti vitako. That whenever there is the initial application of minds on any object, this is called as a vitak. Vichar is called as sustaining of minds towards the object or on the object. This is called as vichar. That is the alambane anumanjan lakhanoti vicharo. And third is called as vitak, the piti. Piti is the praniyati piti, that thrill of pleasant sensation. This is called as priti. That is the gladness. And the fourth is called as sukh, that is the composure, that saturation of the joy within body and the mind. This is called as sukh. So whenever the piti, that is the pleasure, which is being saturated within the body and the mind, this is called as sukh. There is a difference between the priti, that is the pleasant feeling, as well as sukh, that is the saturation of the joy within body and mind. So there are 2 aspects of the piti and sukh. And lastly, this is called as वितक विचार प्रीति सुख and ekagata. Ekagga bhavoti ekagata. There are 5 factors through which the 5 nivarnas, hindrances, namely Kamachand, Vyapad, Thinimidh, Udachkuch and Vichikicha, these are being removed. In this is called as Roop Samadhi. So there are 5 factors of Janangaj in the Roop Samadhi, namely Vitak Vichar Piti Sukhekta Sahitam Patham Jhanam, Vichar Piti Sukhekta Sahitam Dutiya Jhanam, Sukh Ekagta Sahitam Tatiya Jhanam, Upekha Ekagta Sahitam Chatut Jhanam. So there are 5 factors of concentrations through which our Roop Samadhi is being object on the objects, namely Roop, Sad, Gandh, Ras, Photabba and Dhammayatana. So this is called as a Roop Samadhi. So here Jogavachar, through the Roop Samadhi, he tries to remove or destroy the 5 factors of our nivarnas, which are putting obstacle in the path of concentration. Then Jogavachar tries to again purify his consciousness through the Arup Samadhi. So there are 4 stages here: Akas and Chaitan, Byan and Chaitan, Akin Chaitan, Nev Sanya, Na Sanya Aitana. So there are 4 stages of the Rup Samadhi, Arup Samadhi, and through which our consciousness is also being purified. So there are only 2 types of Samadhi, Rup Samadhi and the Arup Samadhi. So this has been, if you go through the reading material, you will find that concentration is the unification of wholesome mental states of mind concerning on a single object. There are 5 or 6 objects, namely Alambana, Rup, Sad, Gandh, Ras, Photabba and Dhamma, Ayatana. They are based upon our 5 or 6 senses, namely Chakhu, Sot, Ghan, Jiva, Kai and Mana. So on the very only one single object, whether it is Rupa, Sad, Gandh, Rasa, Photabba and Dhammayatana. So this is concentration of our consciousness, that is the mind or chitta, and this is in Pali, it has been defined kusala chittas ekaggatati samadhi. So this is it involves the focusing of mind on a single object. There are 3 stages in the concentrations. First is it appears intermittently in certain thoughts. Whenever our thoughts arise in our mind, this is the first stage, and it is gained just before a jhanik stage, that is the Roop Jhan, that Vitak Vichar Piti Sukh Ekta Sahitam Patam Jhanam, Dutiya Jhanam, Tatiya Jhanam, Chatutta Jhanam, and Pancham Jhanam. And the last is the full-fledged concentration, which was attained in a Jhan stage. The last Pancham Jhan is called as Upekha Ekagata Sahitam Pancham Jhanam. So the function of the concentration samadhi is to destroy or to delete or to eliminate the 5 types of hindrances which put obstacle in the path of concentration, namely Kamachand, Vyapad, Tinimidh, Udhach Kukuch and Vichikicha. So the person has to keep his mind entirely from other affairs which could disturb his concentration during his meditation practices. So Buddha Ghosh refers to 10 obstacles or impediments which should be avoided. Acharya Buddha Ghosh in the chapter 3rd, he discusses about there are 10 types of impediments. Impediments in Pali it is called as Palibodh. Palibodh are the 10 regions which bind a person for getting a state of eternal bliss. They are namely that Bihar, where the monks are staying in the Bihara, whether it is Kuti, Adhijog, Pasade, Amiya, or Mahavihar. So sometimes the affairs related with the Bihar, Mahavihar, Kuti. They are also putting obstacle in the path of Samadhi or the concentrations. Too much association with one family, even a person who has become monk or novice, Sramner, sometimes he is also associated with the family members. He has to take care of his parents or her parents or even the members of the family to look after the daily affairs of the family. It also creates in the getting problem in the path of concentration or samadhi. Third is too busy in attending to demands such as religious performance of lay devotees. Suppose there are some monks who are staying in the Biharaj. There are lay devotees, upasak or upasikas. They are approaching to the venerable bhikkhus to make puja or make dhamma desana. So these much association with those Dhamma Desana or the preachings or the puja celebrations, they are also creating problems in the path of concentration, that is the Samadhi. Again, a teacher of Dhamma who is too involved with the teaching work of his students in the Biharas, where there is a scriptural trainings to the other bhikkhus or novices. So much involvement in the teaching of those students or sramanes or the bhikkhus, it also creates problem in the path of samadhi, because a person has to prepare for the teaching and he has to take the classes there. So it also creates problem in the path of samadhi. So construction works which becomes a constant source of distraction. There is another that when a person or bhikkhu or bhikkhunu who is living in the monastery, he has to look after the construction work of the Biharaj. And so in that way, that construction work also putting problem in the path of concentrations, because he does not find time for the for the state of eternal bliss or samadhi. The next is frequent traveling from place to participate, for example, in religious ceremonies or to receive requisites. One should be free of such duties before taking to meditations. Suppose a person who is also desirous for Anapana Smriti or Kamathan or other meditational practices, but he has to travel from one place to another place in course of his charika, in course of his dhammadesana, in course of performing the rites and rituals of the people of the society, and to receive the requisites like Chivara, Pindapat, Rukmul Senasanam, Pindiya Bhojanam, Putti Mut Visaj Parikar. There are 4 types of requisites for the monks. So if a person is involved in such activities, he does not find for time for the concentrations or the samadhi or meditation. Involving in the illness of one family, suppose one person, one who is desirous for meditations, but he has to look after his family members, parents, the relatives, or the teachers, or the disciples, or the even fellow monks who are ill in the Bihar or the Mahavihar. So this type of involvement put the problem in the path of concentration. Again, one has to undergo treatment for diseases for long-term illness. Suppose a bhikkhu who has become ill and he has to move from one place to another place for his treatment. So in that way, he does not find time for the concentration or the meditations. So even going through the scriptures, Vinay Pitak, Sut Pitak, or Abhidhamma Pitak, and continuously going through the scriptures, one does not find time for the concentrations or the meditations. So the last impediment or palivod for a yogi or for a person who is desirous for purification of his consciousness through the concentrations is the too much interest in one's miraculous power attained during a stage of meditations that hinder his further progress. There are some of the persons who have got miraculous power, riddhi, and involvement of those miraculous power. One person is not able to perform his duties. So in that way, it is called as a problem or palibod for those so these hindrances, there are certain other obstacles in the path of concentration, such as keeping long hair, nails to be managed, old robes to be mended, and balls to be cleaned. So there are so many works for the monks in the Biharas. He has to take care of his hairs also, his nails also, about his chivara, and as well as his balls, pindapat, through which he has to take meal. So he has to make clean all these things. So these are also putting problem in the Biharas for the bhikkhus. So even a person who is desirous for concentration or samadhi, Acharya Buddha Ghosh suggests that a suitable place must be for the bhikkhus for concentration or samadhi or roop samadhi or roop samadhi. So these are some of the places which have been given ease of access to availability of the alms. So there are some of the caves or there are some of the mountains nearby or there are some of the Biharas or Kuti or the Adjog, Asad or Hamia, where Bhikkhu can sit together quite calmly and very peacefully. And but those places must not be very far away from the villages so that they can get their alms in time. Because if it is very far away from the villages, it will take time for getting the food at time. Not crowded by day and is quiet at night. So the person who is going to take a course of the meditation or the concentration, the place must not be much crowded or it is not very quarrelsome in the night also. So the place must be very peaceful and quiet and calm also. Not exposed to mosquitoes, serpents, strong wind, and the sun. So the places where concentrations is being done, it must not be associated with the mosquitoes or any insects, serpents, or even the strong winds should also not come. Is to the four requisites where the persons, those who are interested for the meditation or concentrations, the four requisites like Chivara, Pindapata, Senasana, and Putti Mut Bhesaj Parikha. There are four requisites for the monks. It must be easily available to those persons or those bhikkhus who are interested for the concentrations. Even the learned and well-disciplined elderly monks are available for approaching from time to time for advice also. So person must take meditation or in the Biharas or the caves where the senior monks must be available there so that advices and suggestions in the path of the concentrations, if a person feels some difficulty related with the mindfulness or any Vipassana course, they must suggest some of the ways to recover from it. So there are 5 things which have been suggested by Acharya Buddha Ghosh. Again, in the 3rd chapter of Visuddhimagga, Acharya Buddha Ghosh discusses about the Kamathan. In Sanskrit, it is called as Karma Sthan. Karma Sthan means subjects of meditations. Karma Sthan, the literal meaning of Karma Sthan is place of an action. Karma and Asthan. But in Pali, it is called as Kamathan. Kamathan means that there are subjects of meditations. There are 44 Kamathan. There are 40 subjects of meditations. These 40 subjects of meditations are meant for the persons who wish to purify his consciousness through samadhi, Rup Samadhi and Rup Samadhi. So these 40 subjects of meditations or kamatthana or subjects of meditations are given here. So if you go through 10 kasin, kasins are the objects which are visible, like chakhu. If you see Patvi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, that is the earth, water, fire and air. There are 4 colors also, Nil, Pit, Udat and Lohit. So there are 4, blue, yellow, red and white. So 4 are the elements. They are called as Mahabhut, namely Patvi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, and there are 4 colors, Nil, Pit, Lohit and Uddat, and there are 2, that is the bright light and limited space, hole and aperture. So there are 10 types of our visual objects. They are called as kasina. So on these 10 types of objects, a yogavachar, a person can take Rup Samadhi or Arup Samadhi. We'll discuss that how the Rup Samadhi can be objects on the objects. We have already seen that the objects, that is the Rupa, Sadha, Gandharas, they are called Alambana. So here the Rupa, which is visible, they are the 4 elements like Pathavi, Apo, Tejo and Vayu. So these are the 4 Mahabhut on which a person can also meditate. And there are 4 colors also, Neela, Peela, Lal and Ujla, white. These are the 4 colors. And others, bright light and limited space, hole and aperture. Altogether, there are 10 objects, visible objects on which the concentration can be achieved. Then again, there are 10 Asubha. Asubha means foulness, which are very corpse, the dead bodies of the persons in a very deformed way. These 10 types of our dead bodies are called as 10 kinds of foulness. These foulness are the objects. They are called as asubha. They are not beautiful in visual form, but for those who are concentrating, they can also concentrate on the 10 kinds of our foulness. So here there are 9 stages of decomposition of the corpse. When there is a dead body, there are 9 kinds of the dead body which have been given. They are in the deformed form or decomposed form of the dead body, and the stage of a skeleton, a body which turns in the valley bones. So on these objects also concentration can be achieved or attained. There are 10 types of recollections. Recollections are called as Anusmriti. In Sanskrit, in Pali, it is called as Anusati. Anusatis are remembering again and again. Anu and Smriti. Anu means again, Smriti means remembering the thing again and again. So there are 10 types of Anu Smriti on which the concentration can be achieved. These 10 types of Anusmriti are Buddhanusmriti, Dhammanusmriti, Sanghanusmriti, Chaganusmriti, then Samanusmriti, Upsama Smriti, Silanusmriti, so Devtanusmriti. So there are 10 types of smritis which are given here. So if you see, there is the Buddha, Dhamm and Sangha. That is the Buddhanusmriti, Dhammanusmriti, Sanghanusmriti. Then one's virtue, that is the Silanusmriti. Then generosity, that is the Tyag or Chaganusmriti. Deities, that is the Devtanusmriti. Peace, Upsamanusmriti, and death, that is the Machu Anusmriti or Marnanusmriti. And there are two mindfulness which are on mindfulness of the body and mindfulness of the breathing. That is the Kayanupassana Anusati, and then Anapan Smriti. So there are 10 types of recollections, remembering again and again. So give me one example of the Anusmriti, that suppose there is a Buddha Anusmriti. Here Buddha Anusmriti, remembering the qualities of the Buddha again and again. What are the 10 types of qualities? They are like iti piso bhagava arha samba sambuddho vichacharan sampanno sugato lok buddhi purusha dambasarati iti piso bhagava. Even if you hear the how the monks are chanting, they are giving the Mangal Path, then they will start from the that iti piso bhagava arha samba sambuddho vichacharan sampanno sugato lok buddhi purusha dambasarati iti piso bhagava. So there are 9 epithets or 9 attributes through which the blessed ones are known as through different names. So these are the qualities of the Buddha through which a person can remember again and again the good qualities of the Buddha. Why he is called as a Buddha, why he is called as Tathagata, why he is called as Arhat, why he is called as Lokvidhi, why he is called as Purusha Dhamma Sarati. Like that, remembering the qualities of the again and again, this is called as a Buddhana Smriti. So this is one of the kind of concentration or the meditations which are 40 in number, 40 Kamatthana we have discussed. Then next is the 4 divine abodes or Samala Universities. There are 4 Brahma Viharas. You might have heard Brahma Viharas are the noble way of life. Here Brahma is in the sense of Srest, that is the excellent way of living. That is the noble way of living. They are 4 in number. That is the friendliness, Maitri or Metta, Karuna, compassion, unalloyed joy, that is the mudita, and upekha, that is the indifference. These 4 types of our Brahma Viharas are called as 4 defined stages, and meditating or concentration on these 4 objects, Metta, Karuna, they are called as Metta Bhavana, Karuna Bhavana, Mudita Bhavana, and Upekha Bhavana. So these 4 have been elaborated by Acharya Buddha Ghosh, how bhavana can be done on the metta. One example has been given that just like a mother who protects her own baby at the cost of her own life, in the same manner, a person has to also behave with the members of the society in the same manner. At the cost of their own life, they have to protect the other members of the family. This is called as metta parhit kamata, that giving help to others always. This is called as metta, and this is called as metta bhavana. That how you are applying the teachings of the metta in your day-to-day life. So this is one of the example. In the same manner, karuna bhavana, metta upekha, mudita bhavana, and upekha bhavana have been discussed. Then last is the ahare patikul sanya, that recollections or reflections on the seeking of the food, and who process that turns food into repulsive matter. How the food which we take, how they are putting into repulsive manner, and how the chewing and mixing with the saliva in the mouth, passing through your body, undergoing digestion by the action of various secretions, and ending with the discharge of waste matter. So how a person who takes the food, and how after digestions that food comes out in the form. So this is that how by seeing those false things, that how it comes out from our body after taking good food through our mouth, and how it comes out in the very disgusted manner. Seeing on those objects, a person can also achieve concentration or the samadhi. So this is the our, you can say, the last is the analysis of the four. This is the Chatudhatu Bhavathanam, that analyzing the four, that is the Patvi, Apo, Tejo, Bio. So the four elements you are analyzing. Analyzing means you have to see that what type of quality earth has. That earth has the quality of roughness, kakhal bhavoti patvi, that and water has the quality of binding the things together in one thing. So this is the quality of, so making concentration on these patvi, apo, tejo, bio, this is called as our that is Chatu Dhatu Bhavathanam. And then lastly, there are four immaterials, Arupa, that is the Akasanchayatan, Beyond Anchayatan, Akinchayatan, Nevsanya, Nasanya. So they are written here, boundless space, state of boundless consciousness, that is the the beyond. Akash and Chaitan is the states of boundless space. Beyond a Shaitan, that is the state of boundless consciousness, and then Nev Sanya, Nasanya Aitana, that is the state of nothingness, and a state of neither perception nor perception. Nev Sanya, Nasanya Aitana. So these 30 subjects under which all there are 40 subjects of meditations. So all these 40 subjects of meditations, they are being achieved. So this is a stage of our samadhi. So the first, the 40 subjects of meditations we have already discussed, that all from the chapter 3rd to the chapter 13, there are 11 chapters which are discussing about the samadhi, in which Acharya Buddha Ghosh discusses about, first of all, that what is the samadhi, what is the characteristics of the samadhi, what is the function of the samadhi, and then he discusses about the 40 subjects of meditations, and then what are the palibodh, 10 types of palibodh impediments which are putting obstacle to the monks and nuns in the path of concentrations, and which are the suitable places where the monks can sit together and they can meditate. And what are the 40 subjects of meditations we have already seen. Then Acharya Buddha Ghosh also discusses about the temperament of the persons, how the temperament of the persons can be done. They are called as Sharia. Sharias are the temperament. Suppose a person who is having the temperament to kill a living being, so how he can be how he can take objects of meditations. So here we have seen that there are 4 Brahma Viharas, namely Metta, Karuna, Mudita and Upekha. So there, out of these 4, Maitri, which removes the hatred towards the other beings, par vinasa chinta. So in that way, he can remove the antipathy towards other beings. So this is the, and there is a need of a guru or a teacher who can give that out of the 40 subjects of meditations which are suitable to a yogavachar, having different kinds of temperaments. So these teachers are called as Kalyan Mitra. Now the question arises that who is the Kalyan Mitra? Kalyan Mitra is Buddha. That Buddha can be the best Kalyan Mitra. He can give advices to anyone. If Buddha is not available, then Arhat, who have got Arhatship, he can be best Kalyan Mitra or the teacher. And if Arhat is not available, then a person who is in the stage of Sutapatti, Sagdagami, Anagami, and Arhat, Mag, he can be suitable Kalyan Mitra. Even if they are not available, even the person who is Binaydhar, Suttadhar, and Matikadhar, they can be also appointed or they can be also treated as a best Kalyan Mitra. If they are also not available, then Nikay Dhar, that is the Digbhanak, Majhim Bhanak, Sanjukta Bhanak, like those who are proficient in the suttas of the available in the Dikh Nikay, Majhim Nikay, Sanjukta Nikay, they know it very well. They can be also good Kalyana Mitra. So with the help of the Kalyana Mitra, a yogavachar who is interested for the concentration, he can select any one of the 40 subjects of meditations at a one point. And then after achieving that point, he can select other subjects of meditations also. So this is our let us stop here because you might be having another class. So we'll discuss in another class about the wisdom, that is the Panya. There is only one aspect which starts from the 14th chapter of Visuddhi Mag to 23rd chapter. So I will complete it in the next class. So if you have any question, you can ask. Okay?
Okay, sir. Now I have to
Any
go
question
to
if you
another.
have, ask. Otherwise, I can leave because it is more than 6 o'clock. So in the next class, I will discuss with you the pragya or the panya, which have been discussed by Acharya Buddha Ghosh in Visuddhimag from the 14th chapter to 23rd chapter. Thank you very much. So we will see you in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, goodbye. Take care.
Goodbye. Take care.
जीवन सर पनि जानुभएको रहेछ यार
जीवन साथ जानुभयो क्या
ए यही रेकर्डिङ चाहिँ उस गरिदिनुहोस् है यसो भुल्यो भने गरिदिने अहिले चाहिँ
रेकर्डिङ भयो होला नि हरि सरले गर्नु भएको रहेछ
मैले रेकर्ड गरिदिएँ सरले त गर्नुहुन्न के दयानिधि सरले मात्रै गर्नुहुन्छ अरू सरहरूले गर्नुहुन्न हामीले नै गर्ने यसो जसले गरिँदा नि हुँदो रहेछ अनि सकेपछि अनि स्टप रेकर्डिङ भन्ने नि हुँदो रहेछ
ए
हो त्यो गरिदिनुहोस् है म्याडम, जसले सम्झन्छ त्यो गरिदिनुहोस्। मैले अहिले सम्झेँ अनि गरिदिनुहोस्।
मलाई
सुरुमै
त आउँदैन
सुरुमै गर्नु परेन, सुरुमा गर्न परेन, सुरुमा चाहिँ अनि त्यो पढाइ भएपछि। अहिले म स्टप गरिदिन्छु, स्टप रेकर्डिङ। हजुर।